Now, we as Muslims and Jews, or Muslims and Christians, or Muslims and Hindus, we are not enemies to one another. But we are at war. The Jews and the Muslims are at war. What are they fighting about? They are fighting for a piece of land called Palestine. My brothers, the Arabs, they say Palestine belongs to them. My cousins, the Jews, they say Palestine belongs to them. It's a battle for the land. We have between brothers and brothers. Brother, they're all, among us especially. Father dies, and you find that this estate can't be settled. They must go to court. They must go to court. The dividing the shares, the inheritance. There's a war after war. Every Indian, I'm talking about the Muslims. You see, I don't know about the Hindus so much. But I know my own people. You have to go to court. You have to go to court. So, this is brother and brother. We are brothers and cousins now. And both are claiming the same piece of land. What are the rights and wrongs of it? Now that is something that we can discuss. We can talk. For example, I'm talking to the Jews. I say, come and talk to me. I'm talking to the Jews. I've spoken to the University of Cape Town. I've spoken to them here at the Natal University. I have had so many discussions with them. I have written a book, Arabs and Israel, Conflict or Conciliation, and I sent it to every influential Jew in the country, in South Africa. The reaction was, they want to kill me, they want to bomb me. I said, come, talk to him. So I got it all recorded, when they phone up and they use abusive language and what they're going to do to me and all that. I said, come and talk. Because my book says, call them. Call people to a dialogue. Come, let us talk. See if we can see reason. So it is not Muslim want to kill Jews or Jews wanting to kill Muslims. Because we have lived together, Muslim and the Jews, for over 1,000 years, no problem. You see, in Spain, the Muslims ruled Spain for 800 years. And the Jews were the second highest in the hierarchy, doing work among the Muslims. The greatest achievement of the Jews was by the Jews in Spain and the Muslim rule. And for 1,000 years, when the Christians were persecuting the Jews, and when they ran for shelter, protection, refuge, they went to Muslim lands. And every Muslim country accepted them with open arms. Say, ahlan wa sahlan. It's a family and plain, come and live among us. We are the children of the same father, Abraham. Abraham had 2 sons, Ishmael and Isaac. You are the children of Isaac. You are the children of Ishmael. As such, we are brothers. Come live together. And they lived for 1,000 years, not a single riot against the Jews, nothing. The only time the problem started was with Palestine. When the Jews, they went to seek shelter there, and they went and they filled up, and then they said, now we will take over. For the first time, the Muslim wakes up to the reality. He says, now everything, this guy is going to take it over. Inch by inch, the guy's got in. Now he's got the backing of the Western nations, and he's technologically more advanced than the poor Palestinians, illiterate, ignorant people, and he says, now these are easy meat for them. So now they wake up, he says, no man, this is not right. So this conflict from 1918 onwards, prior to that, no problems between the Muslims and the Jews. Any other question? Yes, my son.
What's your opinion on the satanic person?
Well, as the words say, satanic. The guy is satanic. The guy who wrote the satanic verses is satanic. You see, the trouble is that bulk of the people, nobody has really read the book. In the Royal Albert Hall, I went and spoke about the book of Rushdie. 6,000 people. And I made the chairman to read the introduction. There's a poetic introduction, a quotation by Daniel Defoe, some literary man, his quotation about the devil. So I made the chairman to read it from the satanic verses. And the chairman read it and is asking 6,000 people, anybody at any time has read this? Or you have seen it anywhere? Or you read anywhere? Out of 6,000 people, one guy put up his hand. Where? In the satanic verses. Then I'm asking the people, the audience. I said, you see, Rushdie has something special to tell about you Londoners. I said, on the very first page, he calls you all bastards. You Londoners are all bastards. Do you know that? No. I said, Londoners, I said, you, whether you are an English Londoner, or a Pakistani Londoner, or a Sikh Londoner, or a Hindu Londoner, you are a Londoner, you are a bastard. Shocked. I said, look, what have you been reading? You say this book is very good. I said, come on, talk to me. Then, of course, it was more than an hour's talk. I'm giving him what he says about Rama, what he says about Sita. Did you read it? He says, no. I said, you will want to kill him, you. What is about you white people? The whole white race is his white women, no mine, fat, Jewish or non-differential. White women, I can't say the other words. What they are good for. I can't. But I said, now you talk to me. You want to know? I said, you white man, you know what he says about your mother, your wife, your sister, your daughter. You Jew, you know what he says about your mother, your wife, your sister. I want to know what are your reactions. Then this is what he says about Rama and Sita. This is what he says about all of your whole white race. And on and on and on. The filthiest, dirtiest book in my life I ever came across was the satanic verses. Really satanic. Keep away from it. From the price point of view, at one time it was costing 15 pounds. There's 75 rands. You know why 75 rands on that? It's about 540 pages. 75 rands. Here I'm giving you, my son, 2,000 pages free of charge. Yes.
Just a while ago, you told me that Allah is very merciful Now, I know someone must be terribly wrong, but anyway, we're living in the modern times now, and we have freedom of speech, freedom of writing. But that's besides the point. If Allah is merciful, who are we as people to report judgment on Rushdie? Because, you see, we didn't create Rushdie. He was created by God himself. And who are we to formulate opinions and impose death sentences upon him when we have God himself to decide? Now, if Allah is merciful, why can't we be merciful?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm a Hindu student, right? And my scriptures teach me to be obedient, merciful, and sympathetic to the elderly. Now, we must sympathize with Rushdie. We understand he has a problem, but we're not in a position to impose death sentences upon him as alleged by Ayatollah Khomeini did. Now, I appeal to the Muslim people and Muslims in general to forgive Rushdie and give him a break and allow him to apologize and take back his case.
My son, very beautiful thoughts. God is merciful and we are expected to be merciful. He is just and we are expected to be just. He is beneficent, we must be beneficent. Charitable. He is holy, we must be holy. That is the teaching of Islam. That is the teaching of Hinduism. It's a beautiful teaching. But now, we are also told to respect one another. Now I ask you, what is your name? So you tell me I'm Mr. So-and-so, Naidu or Padyachi or Mudli or Govanda, whatever. They say, yes. I knew your great-grandmother. Because a lot of people, I know their grandfathers and grandmothers. I'm 73 now. Since I was a young man, I have been moving around a lot, you see, I know. So I said, yeah, your grandma, yeah, man. Within the state, she used to live there, you know. You know, she was the biggest whore. I said, you know, she was international, not only for Indians. Now, if you punch me in the jaw, have I a right to blame you? I said, what am I doing? I'm asking for it. Am I not? I said, what am I doing? Talk, man, talk. Talk nicely about everybody. You swear my mother, look, you can call me anything. I'm big enough. I told you. I said, this old man can take it, if you remember. You know, I said, ask any questions, even criticism will be welcome. I said, this old man can take it. I stand by that. But now you come along there while you're asking me questions and you swear my mother, you know, at this age, I will punch you on the jaw. By God. No, I'm not. I'm talking frankly. My mind is still 16. In my mind, I'm still 16-year-old. I know my body belies that. You see? But my mind tells me I can give it to you and I will punch you on the jaw, maybe I'll break your jaw and also break my hand. Because it's gone too soft now. It's not what it was before. You see? But now this is the natural reaction of anybody. You say my mother? Look, call me anything, man. Call me an ox, call me a donkey, call me a fool. I can tolerate you. But leave my mother out of the picture. You understand? Don't talk about my mother. Don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my daughter. Now there I'm going to go berserk. You blame me for that? You see, the Western law, beautiful. It protects the living. If I call your mother a whore, your mother has a right to take me to court. Did you know that? She has a right to take me to court for besmirching her fair name. I call her a whore. I must go and prove it. In the house of Islam, as a Muslim, in a Muslim country, if I call your mother a whore, I must produce 4 witnesses to prove it. That I saw her actually committing adultery. Not one, I saw another 3 witnesses. We all are eyewitnesses. And all the witnesses, if they have to come to testify against your mom, they'll have to be consistent in their evidence and the cross-examination. If one of them fails, all the 4 will get 80 lashes each. You besmirch the fair name of a lady? Now, that is Islamic law, Western law, law of defamation. You say something about a living person, that person has a right to take you to court. That you know. But you see, Western law doesn't protect the dead. Your mother is dead, and I call her a whore. And I'm a big bully. I have a big gang behind me. I say, go on, do what you like. What can you do? What can you do? Nothing. You're helpless. Because the law doesn't protect this. And look, then now you must bring your mother out of the grave to come and say, look, I was not a whore, which you can't do. So the stigma sticks. So that guy, I have no right to forgive. If somebody saw your mother, or I saw your mother, these people have no right to forgive me. Your mother has a right. If she's living, she has a right to forgive me. You forgive me, your brothers and sisters forgive me, your father forgives me, your mother forgives me. But if your mother is dead, if she's dead, I get away with it. So this is the law why the man says, now you say something about my mother which is blasphemous, and the law of blasphemy in the house of Islam is death. Yes, anybody else? Yes, my son. Just one second. Let's give the young man a chance first. We'll come back to you. Yes, my son.
What, you believe in Satan?
Yes, that there is a power, satanic powers. I do believe.
Yeah. How come with these Satanists, how come they only oppose the Christian religion and not the Islamic religion?
Maybe they have nothing to chew on. You see, the satanic people, what do you say? There's a cult. Is that what they're attacking the Christians, you say? Right, because they come from Christian background. Sit down, my son. You see, they come from a Christian origin. All the Satanists, they were not Hindus before they became Satanists. They were not Muslims before they became Satanists. What were they? The background, Christianity. So in other words, they come from that background. They know more about their background, so they attack that background. I think that is the answer. Why would they want to attack the Christians and not the Hindus, not the Buddhists, not the Muslims? Why? I said, no, they have no knowledge about Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam. They have no knowledge, but they have knowledge about Christianity, so they can play on that. I think that is the reason. Yes, my son, you had something.
Why don't the Muslims wear a hood?
Why do they wear a topi or whatever you want to call it? This is, from the religious point of view, in our relationships with God, it's not a necessity. This is not a necessity. But in society, we need an identity. Suppose I meet you in the street, I might think that maybe he's a Tamilian, and if I knew how to say good morning to you in Tamil, I would have said it. Otherwise, now I'm at a loss. The other guy, like me, who looks like me, the Banya, they are my cousins. You see, we are the same race. Banyas and me, I am a Gujarati Muslim. The Banyas are Gujarati Hindus. In our complexions, we are the same. The Banya Hindu and the Banya Muslim is the same. We also have the same surnames, if you know. Muslim Patel, Banya Patel. Muslim Desai, Banya Desai. Muslim Bhula, Banya Bhula. I'm sure you have come across. Yeah. So what is all this? No, actually we are one people. Now when I see the man in Grey Street, I'm telling you, frankly, I pass the people in Grey Street and a lot of people, they smile at me. Now I don't know whether the guy is a Banya Hindu or a Banya Muslim. I don't know. So I also smile. Because I can't make out. Because I keep on seeing them, their face becomes familiar, as if I know the guy. But now what shall I say? Shall I say Namaste? Shall I say Ram Ram? Shall I say Assalamu Alaikum? I said, what shall I say? So because I'm not sure, I also give a big smile. Now in the West, my people now, because of this problem, they start saying hi, hi, you know, you're 100% okay, you know, hi, you can't say salam babu, salam bhaiya, or you can't say, you say hi, hi becomes universal. So we wouldn't like to lose our culture and tradition. I like to wish you, my son, whether you are an African Muslim, I say assalamu alaikum. If I see you are an Indian, I say assalamu alaikum. Anybody, I go to China, I see somebody, I say assalamu alaikum. And that's an open door for us. So as soon as you say assalamu alaikum, I go to a strange place, Hong Kong. I've been there, Hong Kong, Singapore. And you see anybody say assalamu alaikum, I says, you know, I come from South Africa. I would, where is the mosque? He says, come, 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 I will take you. Otherwise, I'm asking, excuse me, where's the mosque? So what's that? I don't know, I'm like a fish. If I recognize somebody, immediately say assalamu alaikum, and his heart and home are open for me. It's like an open sesame, you know, this headgear. So I said, now, for the purpose of recognition that I may wish people, I want my children and my people to have an identity. That, you know, we can wish you assalamu alaikum, it's wa alaikum salam, and immediately it's a bond is created, immediately. I give an example in the tubes in London. I've been sitting so many times, a man across from me, you know, sitting face to face in the train, in the tubes. And you dare not open your mouth. You don't know how to start. Because says, excuse me, when you come, look, among us, it's so easy. By God, it's so easy. If I say, assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum, so where you come from? So he tells me, well, I come from certain place. He says, I come from South Africa. So where? Where from South Africa? He says, Durban. I said, what do you mean Durban? I come from Durban and I haven't seen you. He said, no, I live here in Springfield like this, like that. Immediate bond. Where you come from? He said, Pakistan. I said, you know, I was also in Pakistan for 3 years. You know, I was in bond, immediate bond. But now, the other guy, because they're not used to that, as soon as I ask, they say, where you come from? He said, well, that's your business. He said, your business. The other guy, I can ask him immediately, our culture. He said, are you married? This young fellow here. He said, no. I said, well, what's wrong with you? Huh? Come on, I'll show you, there's Mr. Deedat's daughter. No, this is our culture. Are you married? Yes. And the children? Look, this is to us like we are all open book to everybody. We want to know, we want you to know everything about me and I want to know everything about you. And this does it when I know that this is our cultural background. I can talk to you more freely. Otherwise I'm afraid. If as soon as I ask you some question, you say, what are you from the inspector? Receiver of revenue? What is it? Yes. Yes, a lady. Yes.
Why don't females go to mosque?
Yes. Why don't females to the mosque? Yes. You see, the mosque, the obligation to pray in the house of Islam is on everybody, male and female. We are all obligated. Fasting, same. Pilgrimage, everything that the man does, the woman does. Everything, same. But there is what is called a segregation of the sexes in the house of Islam. Like among the Africans, it's a shamipa, respect for womanhood. So the man comes along into the kraal, the men go with the men, and the women go with the women. Now in our culture, it's the same. There is what is called a segregation of the sexes. Men and women are not allowed to freely intermingle. So in the absence of a separate facility in the mosque, where they can come into the mosque without intermingling with men, they pray at home. But now in the mosques in South Africa, provisions are being made. Where you have a separate entrance for the ladies, separate ablution facility for washing, toilets, everything separate. They are in the mosque, yet out of the mosque. In other words, what is forbidden is free intermingling. In the house of Islam, means in our teaching, no Muslim man has a right to be alone with a woman who is not his mother or wife or sister or daughter. Everybody else is to keep them at a respectable distance. If I was going to Johannesburg, alone in the car, I need company. If I see you, my sister, my daughter, you standing by the roadside, trying to thumb a lift, my religion says don't give her a lift. Not because you are an African. Even a woman of my own race, don't give her a lift. But if she's accompanied by a man, maybe her husband, maybe her brother, maybe her father, it's an act of charity. Come inside, I'm empty, where are you going? I'm going as far as Newcastle, it's all right, get in. Free. It's an act of charity. But if the woman is alone, whatever race, my own race, he said, don't give her a lift. Why? Because it is a challenge to man's manliness if he doesn't make some suggestions. This is man, any man, every man. Unless he's a hypocrite or something else wrong with him. A man is a man. He has a woman beside him and is traveling alone now. He wants to know, are you married? He says, no. Have you got any boyfriends? He was, are you married? How long? 15 years. Any children? He says, no. He says, Mr. Naidu, working hard enough. Big joke. This is man, any man. You see, every man is like that. So therefore, it says, now look, before that thing happens, this old man, I'm talking about this old man himself. Look, before that happens, you see now, you are nice and jovial, you're smiling, I say some small joke and you laugh like hell, in the car. To me, this woman is game. She is fair meat. This is man, any man, every man. So, Islam says, keep him at arm's length. I must keep you respectfully at a distance, and you keep me at a respectable distance. This is the reason there is no free intermingling of the sexes. Yes. Yes, my son.
Deedat, sir, with all due respect to your religion, may I know what is the purpose of circumcision? Because I mean, now, if I were to join your Muslim sect as such, and that hurts.
Right. Agreed. The young man wants to know about circumcision. I know that is the biggest barrier, in we getting converts. The man says, man, I agree with you, everything is fine, I said, look, man, you mustn't eat the pig. He said, but what's wrong, man? Pork? I said, well, I'll reason with you. He said, well, I can see your point. I said, look, you mustn't drink. He said, but uncle, a little nip or a tot, man. I said, look, my son, these are the dangers. He said, well, I can see your point. I said, no, don't be promiscuous. Don't go along and dance with other people's wives and daughters. And I said, but what's wrong, uncle? I said, look, I will reason with you. And he says, uncle, I see your point of view. But now, you agree with everything. And I said, now, circumcision. That's hard. So now I said, now what is this? I said, my son, this is for your own benefit. Look, now I'm talking about yesterday, day before yesterday, there was in our local paper. Cancer, the cervix in women, which is a killer among women. Cancer of the womb is a killer of women. 85% of all women who suffer from cancer of the womb are wives of uncircumcised husbands. Problem. I went to the RK Khan hospital some years ago. I had a problem. And I'm sleeping there on the bed. So this is our culture. So say, you, what you here for? What you here for? Means what's your problem? What's your name, Mr. Reddy? So he tells me, he said, uncle, it's, it's like this, like that. And what? He says, problem with the foreskin, circumcision. Next to me is a young boy, schoolboy. I said, what's wrong with you? He said, no, nothing wrong with me. I said, no, I want to know what brings you here. Why are you here? So he says, you see, uncle, difficult. So he's telling me, actually he's got constriction, he must be circumcised. He's also ready. Look, no insults upon the ready. There are readies here, so many. It's just coincidental that the guy next to the wall was a reddy, grown-up man. This guy was a reddy. Across the aisle, Hindustani gentleman, about 50 years and more. So I go up to him. I said, Bhaiya, what brings you here? Why are you here? So again, he's in turmoil, he's in torture. He's trying to tell me. He's got a problem. He must be circumcised, otherwise the skin has come in the way. I said, I'm telling the nurses. Look, you see, as you see me, I enjoy talking. So I say, your husband, is he circumcised? He said, no. Your husband, is he circumcised? He says, no. I say, hey, you got a problem. I said, tell them all to be circumcised. Not for religious reasons. I said, as much as we are vaccinated, for what? Our government tells us, according to the health regulations, that if you're vaccinated, there's less likelihood of you getting smallpox and this and that. Diphtheria, anti-diphtheria, this thing, all that, they're doing it to you for what? To save you. They give us vaccination, inoculation against smallpox, typhoid and all that before you go overseas. What for? They hate you? No. But for your benefit. So now this circumcision, I said, if I came into power in this country, I will pass a law, circumcise every male child in the country, Indian, African, colored, white. Nothing to do with religion. I say for health reasons. I say 85% of my children, my daughters, who are married to uncircumcised husbands, they are suffering from cancer of the womb, a killer disease among women. I say just to save that, there are so many other philosophical aspects. You come and see me and I will give you further details which I can't share with you here. But I said now, just that alone, 85% of the women who suffer from cancer of the womb are wives of uncircumcised husbands. I say circumcise everybody. It's that operation. You know how easy it is. You see, previously under primitive condition, the septic, this thing lasted for a long time and you suffered. Man, I had a young man circumcised on a Sunday morning, and Monday morning on a bicycle he went to work. It is as difficult as that. You know, Sunday he gets operated on, and Monday morning he's riding a bicycle, he's making deliveries. Yes, my children. Anything else? Yes, my son.
Seems the chap Christian most because Christian, the background of Satan are from a Christian background. But wouldn't you state, looking at the Bible, that the reason why Christians are attacked is because of the conflict between God and Satan and the ultimate prophecy of the ultimate defeat of Satan by God, which is shown in the Bible?
I didn't hear the detail of your question, but I think it's again about God and Satan. I think if you come a little closer, please. I'm sorry. I can't hear too well from that distance. Yes.
That when Devi asked you about Satan and Satan and Christian,
Right?
you stated that
Satanism. Satanism and Christians.
Christians are attacked mostly by Satan. You said that Christians, that Satan is, the background is from Christians. But looking at the Bible, wouldn't you state that the reason which it seems better looking at the Bible is that God and Satan always were in conflict with each other, and there was a prophecy that Satan will be ultimately defeated by God. Wouldn't you say that is the reason why Satan is attacked Christians?
I don't know really Satanism, what is the philosophy, why they are out to promote Satanism. Maybe Satanism gives them that freedom to do anything and everything which religion doesn't allow you. Hinduism won't allow you this thing, that thing, you won't allow you. It tells you no, thou shalt not commit adultery. Hinduism says that, Islam says that, Judaism says that, thou shalt not kill. We have certain common denominators. But now, as soon as the person starts straight-jacketing you, as a Hindu, as a Muslim, you want to be free to do what you like. You want to behave like an animal. You want to behave like a pig. People want to behave like pigs. So now the best thing is to disown. Just to disown religion altogether. And they say, now this is a new cult, they call it Satanism. But now the battle is with us. Every individual, we believe, that we have all got this propensity for evil. We have two qualities in us, towards godliness and towards earthliness, devilishness. So the battle is on in all of us, everyone. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, he described the situation beautifully to his companions. While they are around him, he's telling them that shaitan, that's Satan or devil, shaitan courses through the body of man like the blood. He's passing through you. He's each and every fiber of you. He permeates you. Everybody. Shaitan, man means mankind. Shaitan courses through the body of man like the blood. It's imperceptible. It's there. Your blood is moving and going and doing the job without you feeling that the heart is pumping and now supplying blood to the brain to allow me to think. Without that I can't think. But all this is all automatic. Similarly, this evil propensity also in man is permeating him like the blood. Everybody. Muhammad says this, everybody. He said, what about you? See, they had the right to ask questions. You too. He says, me too, but mine is under control. Only difference is that the temptations are there, everybody, unless there's something wrong with you. You remember I described before? Something wrong with you. You are impotent or you are lunatic. Those are different matters. But otherwise, everyone, we have these propensities and the battle is on. And we are to overcome those evil propensities. You say, the devil, the devil. You go and steal and you blame the devil. You go and rape and murder and you blame the devil. I want to know whether the devil came to you with horns, with a tail, with a barbed hook, with a ready complexion, and he told you to go and rape that woman. Did he? No. What is this devil you're talking about? It's you yourself. You are that devil. You are that Satan. But now very easy to pass the buck, blame some other guy. He told me to do this. And who told you? Did you see him? Did he whisper in your ears? What did he say? Did he speak to you in English or Zulu? That's Satan you're talking about. What did he tell you? In Tamil? What did he tell you? So this is like a good thing, passing the buck. The thing is, it's with you, in me, in you, in me, and we are to give battle to these forces through the guidance of God. Whatever God tells us, he says, no, I shall not do it, I'm programmed. So we are shown the two broad highways according to the Quran. Two broad highways, one leading to salvation and the other leading to hell. The choice is yours and you have the freedom of choice. That freedom of will is given to you. You make your choice and you make your decision and therefore you are accountable. You will have to pay for it. You might get away here, but not in the hereafter. Yes. You want me to continue? Yes. Since if you have any more questions, I'm here. You think you have had enough? All right.
Thank you for your questions. That brings us to the end of our presentation. And once again, to our guest speaker, Mr. Ahmed Deedat, thank you very much.